Welcome back to another edition of our Cornhusker Conversation. Today we welcome in Nebraska senior middle linebacker Mo Berry. Last bye week, man, was it good? Did you enjoy a little time away?
Yeah, just rest up, chill with the friends, watch some college football. A lot of exciting games this past weekend, so it's a good time.
I'm sure for you, maybe a little time to just kind of reflect on kind of where you're at, where the team's at. Mm-hmm. What'd you come up with, mentally before you head into practice, early this week?
Well, it's we got 3 games to play, and how we play these next 3 games is what people's going to remember through the off season, through the beginning of next year. So we got to make sure whatever we want to leave behind, whatever we want to, wrap this season with, we better put our best football on the field. So that's what I decided.
I'm really intrigued to talk to you right now. You had a second bye week. We talked about some reflection already, and I know that of everybody on the team, that you're probably the one that is most disappointed with what's happened so far. But knowing that you just have at least 3 of these left, 3 promise games left at Nebraska, how would you kind of evaluate, where things are at right now compared to maybe what you thought and all your expectation coming into the year?
That's a great question. Some I'm still still reflecting on and trying to wrap my head around. I would say, just things that you thought would happen and things that you thought was in place wasn't as in place as you thought, and that's okay because the good thing is Coach Frost will return, and a lot of these young kids we have are good line. We got good linebackers, good DBs that are young, good D linemen, and there's going to be a lot of good talent coming back next year, and I think Coach going to capitalize with them.
One thing I know about you is you're a pretty resilient dude. I mean, we talk pretty much after every hard loss, and then I see you back at practice the next week, and you're right back to where you were. How much have you kind of had to put that on the younger guys too, to learn that ability? Because sometimes this stuff happens and you get kicked in the stomach in games, but like so much has happened this year, we still got 3 games left. Yeah,
it's going to happen to everyone, and that's the thing about resiliency is you're going to have to learn it, and life going to teach you that lesson if you haven't yet. And no matter if it's right now or later on in your life, it's going to come and it's going to test you. So I mean, it's just after a win or a loss, you just got to reset, and you got to be truthful to yourself. Look at what you could have done right, and then have the confidence in the stuff you did right in the game. And that's how I do it every week. And no matter what, I'm never going to be satisfied with my performances. Last year I wasn't last year, and this year I was never satisfied with myself. So just always being your biggest critic is the biggest thing, because if you criticize yourself more than other people do, you don't really care what they say, because half the time they don't know what they're talking about. So that's how I do it, honestly.
A couple of weeks ago, before one of the games, I ran into an old buddy of yours, Luke Gifford, who's playing with the Dallas Cowboys right now. And I know, talking with Giff a lot last year, it's very important for him and those seniors to kind of, start the foundation. For you, knowing you have 3 left at least, what do you want out of these last 3? I mean, because we talked a little bit then about, how he felt about it a year after the fact, coming back and seeing inside the locker room again. For you, I know you've been preaching it all year, but you got really just a few weeks to a month left, being a voice in this program. What do you want, and what are you going to try and focus on the time that you do have left?
I just want to focus on getting results. It's going to be a point in time in this program where that's all that matters. And just making sure the people, the younger guys, focus on the results, focus on finishing. It's not what if or, we should have, would have, could have, all that, and just do it, And that's the biggest thing. If we could just do it for these next 3 games, it's going to speak volumes and where our program is headed to the future. So that's what I want to do. I just want to, change that mindset into there's no excuses, just have it done. And make it, be done the right way.
One of the reasons why, I get so close to players like you and to Giff and guys that come up here and talk all the time is how much the end means to you, and it's a reason why the fans fall in love with players like yourself too, because of how much that you care. Where did that start for you? I mean, because you're a Georgia kid,
yeah.
And I know we've told your story a whole bunch of times on our air, but when did you really fall in love with the N and want to become this guy, Mo, where you come up every week and you're a voice of the team, you're one of the 4 captains? When did you really fall in love with it, embrace it? Because not everybody does that.
Me, it was really just, the opportunity Nebraska gave me. They stuck with me at a hard time, and a lot of schools didn't. And I just felt, that I owed them something. I felt like that I owed them all of me, and to become a great player and a person for this program, a mentor for the guys younger, and a great follower for the leaders ahead of me. So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make sure I did things the right way. I wanted to make sure that, when I left this program, that guys could say I did things how it should be, and just for some reason I was called to a higher position on the team, and I take that serious. Wherever my role was, I took it as serious as can be, and that's what matters to me. Just doing my job and making sure that I could help the people below me and help them rise up.
That's an easy thing to say, right? You go start a new job, you go to a new school, you go play football somewhere, and you say, I'm going to be the best, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But how do you do it? I mean, you've done it for 4 years, and now, finishing it out. How do you do it every day? Because you're a human, there are days where you're tired, you're sore, you're pissed off, whatever it is. How do you come through and do it every day?
It's always for me been a fight within myself. It's a lazy part of everyone. And it's a grudge match in my head, because if the lazy one wins in a day, then the guy, the real Mulberry, would tell him, "Oh, hey man, if you try to be this, you're a hypocrite right now." And then the next day I just attack even harder, and I string together consecutive days of working hard, and that's what matters, the process. Just like in games, the plays matter than the result itself, every play you play. And that's how I see days. Every day for me is numbered. And I just see as, did I waste the day? Did I gain something from the day? And that's what I focused on, even when, I didn't play a lot and I was redshirted or I was told that I'm not ready or something like that. I just focused on getting the most out of every day and developing in some way.
I've talked to you, maybe 50 times at least throughout your career, and every time we talk about kind of your attitude and where you're at, and now being a captain, and the other thing we talk about is mom a lot. I don't want to speak for her, but she probably hears you talk to media or watches interviews like this, and she's got to be so proud of you. What is that like? Just to see her react to the man that you've become, and finishing out your college career, being so far away from home.
Yeah, I think that means so much to her. And when you talk about the off the field, the academic part, that's something that I just dedicate to her. Of course, I had people I wanted to prove wrong, but the thing that hurt me the most was failing my mother in high school, and because I know she put the academic part on herself, and I told her that was never your fault. You pushed me. I just kind of manipulated the situation in high school and wasn't really focused on being a good student in high school. So I just wanted to make sure that she understood that she raised a great man, and that everything I do off the field, how I talk, and I just want to make her proud, because I felt like I let her down before.
What would she say to you, though? I'm going all the way back to the time you committed, right? And I think you even correct me if I'm wrong, but you put out a tweet that you were going to tweet out where you were going to go at a certain time, but mom wasn't home from the grocery store, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And so
I had to tell her, and her phone.
The thing came out a little later than we were all expecting, but if that day that you told her you were going to come to Nebraska, and what type of man you would be and everything that you would go through in 4 to 5 years here in Lincoln, what would she have said?
She would say, just bring a cold, I guess. She was supportive of the decision. She didn't want me to go to like a Miami or somewhere, because she just thought she knew I had developing to do, and she wanted me to go to a place where I could develop on and off the field. And she felt she felt that Nebraska was the place for that. So we agreed upon that, and she's happy that I made this decision, no matter how long it took for me to get the results I wanted. And no matter, where we are as a team, she know that things going to look good for this Nebraska team in the future. So she'll be proud of it.
I know we've done a lot of reflecting. I mean, it feels like we're talking about you still got some time left, but there's another story that I want to bring up to you. Okay. Josh Banderas, who I work with a lot, tells a story about your first year. We're bull prepping, and you're out there, and I think I might have even brought this up to you before. And Bando just looks at you and goes, "Okay, you're calling it freshman." Do you remember that? And what type of Mo Berry was in that moment right there, where you're in control of all these juniors and seniors out there prepping for a bowl game?
Man, I just remember being kind of like shook, because I didn't want to make a mistake. I felt like I wasn't as focused as I needed to be within the weeks before, because as a freshman you want to play, and then you kind of get mad when you don't. And he just gave me the command position, and I was like, he had to save me a couple of times, but it just told me what that moment did to me was like, okay, anytime I'm called, I'm gonna be ready in the mental aspect of football. So he really woke me up from there on. That okay, if my coach say, okay, command every day, I need to make sure I'm ready and I can speak up and control.
We've talked about Giff, we've talked about Bando. Those are Lincoln guys. They're around here all the time, and they're going to be around here forever. Mm-hmm. But whatever's next for you, next year, 3 years, 5 years from now, when you tell people about your time at Nebraska and you played for Nebraska, what was that like? Mm-hmm. What are you going to tell them?
I would say it was a process for me. I've went through a lot of changes during my career here. I came in, not the player that I wanted to be. I came out closer to that goal player I want to be. For me, my story here is just like the story of life, honestly. A lot of trials, tribulations of such. And it's all about how you respond to any situation. And every situation that I had in Nebraska is my response is what made the difference. And that's what I learned from this program. I'm thankful for everyone who has put their hands on me and helped transform me, guide me in the right direction. I'm thankful for the seniors that has helped me, like you say, Luke, Bando, Michael, Ivy, Nate Gary, Malik Collins, and so on and so forth. A lot of people that has, helped me, even if they didn't know it or not. I was looking at them, and I seen the things they were doing, and I emulated it. And so it's just, I'm thankful for this opportunity, and I just hope that the people that I touch continue to grow and become what this program needs.
I know you want to beat Wisconsin more than probably anybody on the schedule. Mm-hmm. What does this week do for you personally? You got a week off, rest your body. Mm-hmm. I know it's probably not feeling the best, but what would it mean to you to get one this week against these guys?
A lot. I just think don't overhype the situation, don't overanalyze and things like that. It's just playing football, reading your keys and making plays, and then making sure my team is ready to play for all 4 quarters. And that's the biggest thing. You got to play all 4 quarters with them. I felt like we competed with them when we went there last year. We didn't play all 4 quarters great, and that's what we need to do. And just focus on winning the down, not winning the game itself. Because when that happens and you're down in the game, some people think it's over already. You got to just focus on winning the down, winning the play itself. So that's what I'm going to focus on, and that's the message to my team.
I know we'll wrap this up here. You've got 3 games left, as we talked about, and everyone wants to big picture it right now, considering where the season's at. You're in it every day. Mm-hmm. Where would you tell us of where we're at in this process, of getting back to where we need to be, and, all the way back to when we talked in Chicago at Media Days in July, to where we're at right now? Where would you say, Nebraska is in this process right now?
The process of getting back to glory. I would say, it's the thing is, we have a lot of young kids that need to stand up, coming past this season, after this season, that you're going to have new leaders. I think that from a coaching standpoint, that we have the right coaches here, or right coach. Coach Frost is the right man for the job. And I believe in him to figure out wherever we lack to make sure that he combats and get some results happening. So I can't really say. I don't think it's my job to assess that. But I think we're in great hands, and I believe in Coach Frost, and I think we're going to, down the future, be the team that the fans hope we can be.
Well, man, I can honestly say there's not a player I want these last three more than you. I hope we can at least get a couple of them, and you can enjoy one last ride on a bowl game. It's been a pleasure watching, man. Let's go get it done this week.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Go Big Red.